This drive, I can tell already, is gonna be epic. I'm getting the feeling that it's hard to find a bad hike in Colorado. Okay, this is not a bad view. I am currently in Denver, basically just brewery hopping. This is about as authentic as it gets. It's laundry day, in case you can't tell from my outfit and from the background. Today's video is not about me. Well, kind of, I guess. It's about my drive through Colorado on Interstate 70. Because these videos are so delayed in getting to you, I just want to catch you up really quick, and then I'll link some videos down below and up in the iCards. So my husband and I were living in the Bay Area for about 4.5 years in total. There was a stint in China in between, as many of you know, and we have recently relocated to Asheville, North Carolina. And to relocate from Hayward, California to Asheville, North Carolina, we drove. For a couple reasons. One, the car is almost paid off. I don't want to leave the car behind and have to buy a new one. And because we have a giant dog who is not about to go on a plane. So we decided to drive. This is actually our second cross-country drive that we've done together. I made a video all about the first one that we did. I was not vlogging at the time, but I did make a blog. So up in the iCards, you'll find that video, and then there's a link in that description too to the blog if you're curious. On that road trip, we drove the I-10 for a lot of it, so we were like super far south. This time we were gonna take the 40, and we decided last minute, like literally an hour into the drive, that we were gonna switch it up and take the 70 instead. We booked nothing in advance. We just kind of went one day at a time. And there's already been 2 videos from the beginning of this road trip. So that was just like leaving California, going through Vegas, finally getting to the Utah border. There's a video all about Utah. This video is all about Colorado. Next up, we're gonna be going through the Midwest. I'm not 100% sure how many videos it's gonna be. I'm just kind of flying by the seat of my pants in case you can't tell. It's been a little bit of a struggle lately. I'll make a sit down and chatty video for you guys very soon. The short of it is that I have not been like mentally in the best place. I'm getting there. I'm getting into a good routine. I'm getting settled here, but moving is hard, and I just haven't really felt like being on camera, and I've just needed a lot of like sleep and a lot of time to nest and be at home, and I've been working out, so that's been kind of nice, doing yoga at my heart center. Anyways, this video is about Colorado. I will stop blabbering on. Here we go. Welcome to colorful Colorado. So the first night we stayed in Henderson, Nevada, just outside Las Vegas, and the second night we stayed in Grand Junction, Colorado. So the videos aren't like day 1, day 2. So basically at the beginning of this video, what you're seeing is the very end of the day of driving, where we drove from Nevada, we drove through Arizona, we drove through Utah, the whole width of Utah, and then finally we got to Colorado, and it was kind of like the sun was going down at that point. We had been driving all day. I haven't seen a sight like that in such a long time. It rained. What does it even look like? I don't even know anymore. Good morning from Colorado. So we stayed in Grand Junction last night, just at a basic hotel, and it was the second day of driving, and it was also the last day we're doing a really long drive day. So far, Colorado looks like a lot more trees than Utah, like from the part that we drove through. Obviously, my impression of these states is like purely from the I-70. We're in the Colorado Plateau area. We were trying to figure out where the Rocky Mountains are, where the plateau is. I'll put a little map up on the screen so you can see, but we are still, I think, technically in the Colorado Plateau. The place we're headed to right now is a hike. I don't remember the name of it. I'll show you when we get there, but it's supposed to be a really pretty hike. It's about an hour and a half away from where we are now, and then we're only like 4 hours away from Denver. So we're gonna do the hike. We're gonna go to a little like brewery that's in a nice area that we can walk around and get a feel for Denver, and then we're gonna stay over the night in Aurora tonight because it was a little bit cheaper than staying in like downtown Denver. We were thinking about going to Boulder instead of Denver, but it just would have added time to the trip, and I don't really know what I'm doing anyways with like either of these cities, so we're like, let's start with Denver. We'll be back, I'm sure. This drive, I can tell already, is gonna be epic. It looks really ridiculous. Colorado River! station was called Come and Go, and Come was spelled K-U-M. So we're just at a rest stop in Colorado it's near Glenwood Springs. It's called No Name Rest Stop area. And it's really pretty, let me show you. You got the Colorado River right down there. We've got these like super green mountains. I think this is really beautiful. And then you got mountains over here. Mountains on mountains on mountains. What more do you want?
This is the moment for those who...
All right, time for a hike. We could not go to the trailhead we wanted because it had like 4 parking spaces and it was completely full. So we found a different one called Grizzly Creek, something or other, and here we go. I'm getting the feeling that it's hard to find a bad hike in Colorado. We're like hiking along this creek with like this beautiful mountain backdrop, and I don't know, it's just gorgeous. You definitely get the feeling that there's like bears and mountain lions out here. Really pretty. So far out of the states we've driven through, I'd say Colorado's my favorite, but I've hardly seen any of it, so I'll hold off for now. Oh, just a casual view. I found out after that hike, which was in Glenwood Springs, Colorado, I texted my mom. I was like, oh my gosh, Glenwood Springs is amazing. It's my favorite city I saw in Colorado. And she said, you know what, fun fact, you grew up in Anacortes, Washington, but you almost grew up in Glenwood Springs, Colorado. My parents were apparently deciding between the 2 states, and Glenwood Springs was at the top of their list as far as cities went for Colorado. So I thought that was super funny. I almost grew up there. That hike was beautiful. Really short. We just kept it really short because, first of all, it can't do a whole lot. Second of all, it's hot. It's really hot right now. He's just like panting in the back. Did you like your hike? He's so hot. And now we're in a tunnel. Like, you just saw it. We're going underneath, or it's like through a mountain of some kind. Really crazy looking scenery around here. And we're gonna go to the Wendy's for lunch because we're feeling fancy today. Okay, this is not a bad view. One of the cool things about the I-70 in Colorado is it has a relatively low impact on the environment, meaning that it really goes like on top of the mountains, through the mountains. That's why we're not driving at like the foothills and this looks more like just wooded area. It's because we're at such high elevation because you're kind of up with the trees. It's a really unique road and it was really cool to see it. I don't know why, but I've been really interested in Vail, Colorado for a long time. So I asked if I could get out and go look, and Eric was not interested because we'd already been on a hike. It was really hot, and I just went and explored Vail a little bit by myself. It's a little ski town if you're curious. You guys know that we are at 11,000 feet right now. It's probably some of the highest elevation I've personally experienced. I hear you can get drunk faster. I don't know. Next stop was Denver. So of course, since we were driving on a Sunday, we got stuck in traffic. got to Denver, we started our little mini dog-friendly brewery tour. We started out at Denver Beer Company, which I loved. I thought it was really, really good, but what I loved even more was the water really close by. I'm not sure like what river or whatever it is, but it was just really pretty and it's a cute area. I looked up how much these apartments are to rent and it is not cheap. What a shocker. Denver is very expensive. It's okay. You made it.
What is it, bud? It's Denver.
After that was called Ratio Beer Works. It's probably my least favorite, but it was still really good, honestly. I think Denver just has a lot of good beer. Not nearly as good as Asheville. Holy crap. If you've been following me on Instagram, if you're not following me on Instagram, link right here. I've been posting Instagram stories pretty much every day on there. I just went to a beer festival recently, and Asheville has the best beer scene I have ever been a part of in my entire life, and I have had a lot of types of beer. But anyways, Ratio Beer Works was not my favorite. What actually was my favorite was the next brewery we went to called Our Mutual Friend. They're known for their sour beers, which has been my favorite lately. They were ridiculously good. And actually, you know what's funny is I just saw Our Mutual Friend brewing on a beer list at a festival here in Asheville. So I am currently in the, I can't figure out if it's Rhino or Reno district of Denver. It's River North is what it stands for. And we are kind of, yeah, someone, hello, anybody. We are basically just brewery hopping. We're checking out all the dog-friendly breweries specifically. So we're sitting outside. It's actually pretty hot downtown. I'm getting the feeling this is kind of like the newer, hipstery, like this is where you're gonna find poke type district, you know what I mean? It's like an artsy district. So we're not like right smack dab in the middle of downtown, which is kind of nice. We found street parking for free, which was great. And Abe is doing really well on this trip, like really well. We're coming up on our next brewery, so I will show you guys. It apparently has won awards for sours, so I'm excited. We ended our evening in the most Midwest way possible, which is with some meat sandwiches. We stayed overnight in Aurora, Colorado, which I did not film because it was very boring. It was a Best Western. You know what Best Westerns look like. Then we hopped back on the road in the morning, and I swear to you, as soon as we got east of Denver, it felt like we had gone from the Rocky Mountains into the Great Plains, which I believe is exactly what happened. I was just really surprised at how quickly it turned from mountains to prairie, and it was still within Colorado, and then finally we hit Kansas.
I'm Brian.
So in the next video, you will definitely be seeing Kansas. I don't think it's enough footage for an entire video. I will withhold all my thoughts on Kansas until the next video. I will probably be pairing Kansas with Missouri in one video, so stay tuned for that. That will be, dryer please, probably next week, maybe the following. I'm trying to get up a chatty video for you guys very soon so that I can just kind of like catch you up on everything because I am so behind on videos. Thank you for your patience. If you want to see a little bit of my daily life every day, I would definitely recommend going and follow me on Instagram. That is the best way to keep in touch. I've also been posting to Facebook, but I've been much more consistent on Instagram because it is just fun, and I have an iPhone now and it is so responsive. My old phone was so crappy. Anyways, that's why I've been getting into Instagram. It's just really easy to post on anyways. Oh, okay, I'm on the floor, so I'm gonna get up and end this video. Thanks for watching. Okay, bye.